This is Nadisha in Chicago, and you're watching your channel, Knowledge for Quality of Life. Friends, today I wanted to share some thoughts on the concept of saving. Now, when we did the vlog last time, a few weeks ago, uh, one of the vlog in which I shared present worth and future worth factor formula. So that is future sum of money equals to P times parenthesis 1 plus I to the power n. Now, there are three variables involved in predicting future value of money. One is the amount of money which you are going to put it away to save, which is P, present worth of the money, I, which is the rate of return, and N is the number of years for your money to work for that compounding. So there are three variables involved. Now, experts say that, save as much as you can, and some people give the number as much as 15%. That's why a lot of 401ks and, profit sharing plans at the corporate level, they have maximum 15%. Sometimes they have attributed the dollar amount as well. Now, as far as my thinking is concerned, when I started, based on my reading, they say that, experts said that, save as much as you can. Now, when we talk about this concept of saving as much as we can, some folks would say that I don't have anything left over. How can I save? Because they don't prioritize their saving as cutting a check to themselves. Because they say that, well, I have to pay this bill, this bill, this bill, this bill, and then all the bills are paid, and whatever is going to left over after that, I'm going to save for myself. Now, that sometimes never materializes. So, the concept of paying yourself first is the prime importance in this case. That, along with other checks which you are cutting as a bills, pay yourself first. And that's a forced savings. Now, I go by, based on what I believed in, over the years, that save as much as 25 to 30%. And there's a concept here that, when you have a growing family, of course, when you're starting your career, you have too many expenses to take care of. Now, it gets very difficult to save that much. Now, the concept here, another factor I'm going to toss here, that, everybody has to take pain in their life, whether it's at the front end or at the back end. If you take at the front end, probably it's going to be much easier at the later part of your life because you have those many years to work on. You remember that n is an exponential term in future worth formula. So you have too many number of years to work for, better it is, and then small sums of money is going to, give you a phenomenal results in the long run. So people who say that, tend to procrastinate, that, I'm going to save if I have left over. That never happens. Now, here is another concept I'm going to toss, is that, need versus desire, because we sometimes get in the habit of impulsive buying. And there is a very fine, delicate line between need and desire, that, we may have millions of desires, that I got to have this, I got to have this, I got to have this, but, we may have very fewer needs, which is, we can count on fingertips, right? So one has to distinguish between this, very gray area, how to distinguish that, is it my need or is it my desire? So that becomes a factor in prioritizing your savings. Because if you procrastinate as the time lapses, then time is not on your side, because n is not on your side. Simple as that. And when n is not on your side, compounding is not going to be that effective in the long run in any given case. So I'll give you an example that, how I was taught. silent teaching by my mom. When I was coming to the United States back in 87, I used to tutor, when I graduated from, high school back home in Karachi, Pakistan, when I was in 70, senior in 1978, I started tutoring junior year student in high school for physics, math, and chemistry. So I was one step ahead of my students whom I was tutoring. I was good enough in physics, math, chemistry, so I decided that I'm gonna use this tuition money with whatever I'm gonna be accumulating the amount, and I'm gonna pay myself for my engineering degree, undergrad degree, all the expenses, including fees, tuitions, books, and whatnot. And then whatever I'm going to be saving, I used to give it to my mom and dad, but they will say that no, save it to yourself. So I was saving that part, whatever is left over after my paying the tuitions and bills and everything. So I accumulated about $4,500 US dollar worth of money in those days, 1987, I'm talking about. At that time, the dollar and Pak rupee conversion was 13 rupees to a dollar. Right now, it's hovering a little bit over $280, 280 rupees to a US dollar. So you can see the difference in the based on the time frame. Of course, you have to index for inflation as well. So the draft was ready. I was planning to pay my first semester tuition for my graduate school here in Chicago with that 4,500 draft money, which I was supposed to bring to the United States based on my F1 visa, foreign student visa, which I had. And I planned that in summer I'm going to work based on the foreign student status, and I'm going to accumulate as much as money during the summer, working 3 months, and paid off in for my fall tuition. And let's get it done in 2 semesters. My master's wrapped up, and that's what I exactly did. But when I was coming to Chicago, I needed to buy one-way airfare, and I was kind of like short on that front because I had the tuition money in my pocket, but I was short for the one-way airfare, and I was a little bit depressed in a way that how I'm going to arrange that one-way airfare. And my mom read my face, and she was asking me that everything is arranged, everything is okay. I said, well, mom, everything is okay except I'm short of one-way airfare. And she asked me that how much I need. And I said about 7,500 rupees. That was the cheapest airline which I was taking, Polish airline, LOT Airlines, and I was changing 3 planes and 4 spots, basically. And I slept overnight at the Belgrade airport in Poland. So my mom asked me, this how much I need, and she said that wait a minute. She went outside in the balcony area where she used to keep all the storage stuff, and she brought a box, a tin box, to me, and she said that open this box and count the money, and I started counting. There were some change, and there was rupee bill. There were 5 rupee, 10 rupee, 50, 100, and so forth. So I counted in some time, and I came across about 7,800 and change. And I said, Mom, this is exactly a little over what I needed. And she said that take whatever you need and get the ticket. So this lesson, it was a very silent and unintentional teaching of saving, which taught me a lifetime lesson. I I was asking this thing since then that if my mom could do it, why can't I? Right? So, and then when I saw this money, 7,500 rupees, I asked my mom that, how did you come up with this box? What's the secret behind it? How did you accumulated this sum of money? And she said that, your dad gives me a daily grocery expense because, in those days, my mom used to go to Karimabad market and get all the daily groceries, and whatever the leftover change, she used to plug that in that box, and that's how she accumulated that much in years. Now, that taught me a lifetime lesson that if my mom can do this thing, with the education which I have received, what other things I can do over the years. And that was the impetus behind my thinking psyche that, everything I did since then in my life, still today, I'm thinking a saving aspect in everything. That how I can be optimum, how I can be frugal a little bit more, to buy things, whatever it is, and in due course I will share many examples with you, for my house or for my cars, or how I save money by cutting corners, not from the quality perspective, but doing things unconventionally, which people don't normally do or generally think that that saving is even possible. And I will share with you in due course those vlogs as well, because saving as much as possible is part and parcel of your overall finances in the long run. Because the more you save, you have an extra cash flow which you can plow back to your savings. The more you save, you have extra cash flow, and you can have extra savings to save on, right? So this thought I wanted to share with you. Another thing I would share with you, that when you are married, uh, it depends on the life partner as well. This is my personal experience. I'm really blessed that two women in my life, right? My mom and my wife, both are gem. My wife sacrificed so much because over the years she would she would need something, but for instance, our kitchen at one point falling apart. But she said that no, we have to send our kids to uh, college and university program, so we need money. And we can always build the kitchen, the cabinets and everything later on. And we postpone things. Uh, that type of personality, because that again, what I was talking about earlier, that need versus desire. She had desire to have a nice kitchen, nice cabinetry, but what is our need right now? Because sending the kids to the better schools, better program, and having a good education, that's the foundation which we can provide to our kids. So make sure that you and your spouse both are on the same page. Line down everything, the priority wise, that what is your priority, and remember that what I said earlier, that the more pain you take at the front end, you can be more easy later on. This is my personal experience. Like, I am much easier and relaxed now because I took the pain at the front end, big time. Okay, and in due course, I will share all the experiences with you, so that there may be some learning lessons for some folks. So this is the thought I wanted to share with you today. I hope that you will get some guidance, or some learning from my experience and my mom's teaching. I'm telling you honestly that whatever I am today, unintentional teaching, being a role model in one's life is a crucial thing. And my dad was the same thing. If my dad can walk, she would not take a bus. And people who know our family from back home, they can vouch for it. And they were hardworking individuals. I will share some other stories of my personal journey, hopefully in one of the vlog as well, that how I was evolved from my elementary school to middle school to high school to undergrad studies and then graduate school, and today as well. Still, I am learning on a daily basis something. So that's all for today. I hope to see you next week. Bye.